Live from Schellenberger Field, you're watching Field Hockey on LHSN. DJ Wingert here with you. We're going to welcome you inside the broadcast booth as the Lynchburg Hornets play host to the Ferrum Panthers. Lynchburg coming off a win 1-0 on Saturday against Randolph-Macon, and going back through their last two home games between Eastern Mennonite and Randolph-Macon, have outshot opponents 86-2, but only 5 goals to show for it. Can that change tonight? That's the storyline for Lynchburg. For Ferrum, 6-game losing streak and been shut out in all 6. So a lot to turn around tonight for the Panthers, and doing so against the number 18 team in the country and a Lynchburg team they have never beat. A lot to look forward to in this matchup. Here are some of the stats coming into tonight's battle between the Panthers and the Hornets. And we have some players for you to keep your eyes on. Starting with Ferrum, number 15, Dominique Harper, a senior from Newport News, Virginia. 5 goals, 2 assists on the season. 4 of those 5 goals coming in a contest against Meredith, and then a second time playing Meredith this season on the road in the second venture, a goal and 2 assists for Harper. Other side, talked about the win against Randolph-Macon. Emily Giannis scored the game winner with 1 minute and 18 seconds left on the clock. Lynchburg had to scrap and fight for any possible opportunity, but it was Giannis coming through as the hero. And the 2 players starting between the posts, it's TJ Baker, making her first start over a 3-game absence from the starting lineup for Ferrum. Did play with 4:24 left on the clock last time out, so Baker getting her 10th start of the season. Sophomore from Australia, going to have a tough task ahead of her trying to slow down this Lynchburg attack. And then Kayla Brady, starting keeper for the Hornets. Started all 14 games, goal against average at 1.25, 79.2% save percentage for the sophomore. And there's Coach Enza Steele, 43 years at the helm for this Hornets program, and an NFHCA Hall of Famer already. Early possession won by Lynchburg. It's Giannis carrying inside the attacking circle. Draws some contact from Haley Horn, a senior from Virginia, and this will result in an early penalty corner for Lynchburg. And we saw a ton of those this past Saturday against the Yellow Jackets. Just going back between the last 2 home games that Lynchburg has played here, it has been very one-sided. But the focus for Coach Steele and her team, turning those shots into scores. Easier said than done, of course. It's going to be Emma Strauss to insert on this first penalty corner. Giannis on the near side wing takes a rip. Lands at the stick of Dudley, still going. Claybaugh finds Strauss, and quickly we have our first score. Brittany Claybaugh, the senior from Chesapeake, Virginia, gets her 3rd assist on the season. And it's the grad student Emma Strauss collecting her first goal on the year. Ball just kept alive a little too long for Ferrum. Perfect redeflect opportunity and a good ball threading the needle coming from Claybaugh. Senior finds the grad student, and we were wondering, can Lynchburg turn those shots into goals? Early returns say yes, they can. Less than 40 seconds into the match, Lynchburg moves ahead 1-0. This is Harper possessing in the midfield. Interesting to see how much Ferrum can mount against a tough, scrappy Lynchburg team, and one that's led by Jackie Lehrer, who brings that press forward, creates the turnover, has Giannis flanking to her right. Well defended from behind. This is Faith Bibbo poking away from Lehrer for just a moment. Riley Weinfordner checked in just a moment ago. Whistle is blown. Possession awarded to Ferrum. Weinfordner, a freshman from Glen Allen, Virginia, 10th game played on the year. Came in for Kessa Romero. Pass from Emily Campbell. Finds Riley Smith. Now the Panthers looking to push the tempo, get it all the way up to their forward spots. Headlining the attack, you see Jonathan Thron, freshman from South Africa. Thron along with Harper, as well as Thabelo Nemulodi, freshman from Midlothian, Virginia. Goal and 2 assists for Nemulodi. Sent all the way back now to Bibbo. Ferrum will reset, build from the back line. It's Olivia Turner on the near side, unable to handle the pass, picked up by Weinfordner. Freshman tosses over towards Kaylee Truitt. Pass hops over the stick of a senior. Now picked up by Clayball. Chip forward. Laro ahead of Baker. First try. No good. The rebound opportunity is true. Lynchburg moves ahead 2-0. Two shots, 2 goals. You couldn't have asked for a better early return for the Hornets. Laro finds the post. And the rebound puts the Hornets ahead 2-0. Giannis and Dudley in the vicinity. And I couldn't quite tell who ended up coming up away with that second goal. Laro trying to do it all herself this time. Gets past Baker. Shot wide left. 88 career goals for Jackie Laro. Talked to her yesterday. She's going for 100 in her career. 12 away from that mark. 6 regular season games. And then we get into ODAC and NCAA tournaments, which could vary about how much longer that could extend your season. Aerial forward to Harper. Riley Cameron, sophomore from New Jersey, has had a big role to step up into this year for Lynchburg. Possession given to Lynchburg and immediately finds the foot of Truitt. Now it's back with Ferrum. Wine Fordner takes it away. Update. That second goal was awarded to Emily Giannis. So Giannis, our player to watch for a good reason. She collects her 5th goal on the year. Junior from Stewartsville, New Jersey, continues a really solid junior campaign. Made her 9th consecutive start tonight. Boatwright, right on the fringe of the attacking third, has Strauss. Tries to center it up. Laro! One closer to triple digits. Strauss will get the assist. That's her 5th on the season. Laro finds goal number 10. Here's the entire buildup. It happened this quickly. Boatwright, Strauss, Baker's too far out. Laro, that might be the easiest in her collegiate career to date. Laro can score in a variety of different ways. And Baker just a step out in front of the cage, and Laro seeps in behind. And it's now 3-0 Lynchburg over Ferrum. Not even 5 minutes into the first quarter. 7 shots resulting in 3 goals. That's more like it for Lynchburg, getting back to where they were in wins against Lebanon Valley, a gritty win against ranked Ursinus, and then Center. Both those games going to overtime and being played over at Liberty, the first 2 home games of the year for Lynchburg. Last 2 home events have truly been at home on Schellenberger Field. That was the EMU and Randolph-Macon games I alluded in the opening of the broadcast. I think a better example of equating shots to goals was that Bridgewater contest, 6-0 victory over the Eagles. So you go to that EMU game, 42 shots to none, 4-0 victory, but that big of a disparity in the shots column would lead you to believe that the scoring differential would be a little wider as well. Ferrum looking to build some momentum, stop the bleeding. Chip towards midfield by Joy Moss. It's picked up by the Hornets. Boatwright ahead has Laro. Watches this one go across the end line. Ferrum as they try to weather the storm. It is worth noting, head coach Carrie and Sue Austin, our 8th season at the helm, is sick and not here in Lynchburg, Virginia. Instead, it's Haley Overstreet and Kim Sullivan with the task of leading this Panther squad. Here, Ferrum able to create a stop. Moss, a freshman from Suffolk, Virginia, to begin the possession. 13th game played this year for Moss. Has 1 assist. So we talked about the recent slate for Lynchburg. Ferrum on the other end, 6-game losing streak. Giving up 38 goals in that duration. Been shut out in all 6. So, in other words, it's been a tough go at it. But you've seen some progress this year for Ferrum. 0-9 last year in the COVID season, 3-11 this year. So looking for their first conference win. They're 0-4 in ODAC play. But steps taking in a positive direction. Some wins on the schedule. Some wins coming against Southern Virginia and 2 W's against Meredith. 1 at home, 1 on the road. And now the chance to play road spoiler. Tied for last spot in the standings. Going against the number 3 spot, Lynchburg Hornets. Ferrum down the stretch can be that team. Gets in the way. Nothing gets in the way of Emily Dudley. First goal of the night for the Maryland native. 8th on the season overall for Dudley. And it's now 4-0 Hornets. It was taken away by Giannis. And Dudley hits the back of the cage. 4 goals. And we're a little over halfway, or just under halfway through the first quarter. So if you missed any of the action, goals have been scored by Brittany Claybaugh, Emma Strauss, Jackie Laro, and Emily Dudley. 3 grad students and a senior in the mix. And the assist for Yohan Giannis, also with a goal on the night. Lynchburg right back into the semicircle. Poked away for a second. Ryan Weinfordner. Vies with Moss, looking for positioning, and it looks like foul called would be against Ferrum, resulting in a penalty corner. The assist for Giannis, continuing my point, 2nd on the year. Just under halfway through the first quarter. 4-0 Lynchburg, chance to grow the lead. Strauss will insert. Already 1 goal, 1 assist for the Pennsylvania native. Goes out, far sideline, Truitt. Over to Weinfordner. Still outside the circle. Dudley takes a rip. Lands at the feet of Boatwright. Tries to center it up. Giannis tries to climb the ladder. No ruled dangerous stick positioning. It's now with the Panthers. Trying to go aerial. Results in a turnover. Picked up by Truitt. Senior from Delaware looking for space. Won't have any. Well defended by the Panthers. After the pass, immediately taken away by Lynchburg. It's Brittany Claybaugh with a head of steam. And Laro does it again. 2nd tonight for Laro, 11th on the season. It'll be the 2nd assist on the night for Claybaugh. 4th on the season, doubling her assist total. And Lynchburg certainly in the driver's seat. 12-0 shot advantage. And where it matters most, leading 5-0. 6.5 minutes and counting left in the first quarter. Off the stick of Weinfordner, picked up by Boatwright in the midfield. Harper was tussling with Strauss. Whistle was blown. They give possession to Lynchburg. Long pass from Truitt. Misses the mark. Goes out across the far sideline. Laro looking for space. Got tangled up for a moment with Haley Horn. Another penalty corner on the way for Lynchburg. That's a tough spot to find yourself if you're Haley Horn, the senior, trying to get in front and slow down the oncoming rush from one of the fastest players the ODEC has to offer in Jackie Laro. Strauss to the top of the circle. It's with Laro. 2 goals tonight. Centers it. Defensive save for Riley Hines. Ball still live. Baker can't sit on it. And Baker's still down on the turf. Looks like they're going to give Lynchburg another penalty corner. So it might have been an incidental moment where Baker lays down on it, honestly, from my vantage point. Couldn't tell where it went. And now it's going to be a penalty stroke for Laro. Opportunity to get a hat trick. Not even 10 minutes into the game. Actually, instead of Laro, it's going to go to Kessa Romero. Junior. Second team all-conference last year. Third team in 2019. So Romero one-on-one against TJ Baker. Off the left hand, the pad sees it deflect in. Romero makes it 6-0 Lynchburg. Third goal in the year for Romero. Up to 9 points on the season. (6-0) Hornets. Most goals they've scored in a game since topping Bridgewater, 6-0. And it ties the mark for most in a game this season for Lynchburg. And a welcome sign for the Hornets. Came today third to last in the ODAC in goals, but third most shots. And again, it speaks to wanting to see those shots convert into goals. That has certainly been the case so far tonight. Giannis tripped up. Gets no call. Men's lacrosse team on the far sideline voicing their displeasure with the no call. Ferrum with possession, trying to build from the back line in the midfield. The intended target on the pass is Emily Campbell. Another foul on the play. Stays with Ferrum. Trying to go aerial. Olivia Turner flicks it right to Madison Mark. Good stick placement from Campbell. Wins it back for Ferrum. Takes a hack. Was trying to get Harper at the top of the attack. Unable to do so. Fortunately enough for your Ferrum fan, Lynchburg gives it right back. Boatwright. Off the pass, maybe a step behind Truitt. Erin Boatwright. Been a really nice addition. I don't want to say addition, but as a sophomore, she's been leaned on a whole lot this season, not only on the defensive side, but also the offensive production. 4 goals, 3 assists. She'll help win, maintain, keep possession in the midfield. So it's rolled a dangerous ball against Ferrum. Lynchburg takes over right at midfield. And Erin Boatwright, sister of Alex Boatwright, senior goalkeeper who has not played yet this year, but president of SAC here, University of Lynchburg, taking part in the NCAA Diversity and Inclusion Week this week. I got to talk to Alex Boatwright earlier, and you can listen to that interview coming out tomorrow on About a Thing or Two podcast. Be sure to check University of Lynchburg Athletics Twitter. You can also see it wherever you get your podcasts and on YouTube. It was a pleasure talking to Alex, and a variety of things she does on campus. Nursing major, and she has done plenty of great things away from the turf. Back with Lynchburg. Dudley centers it up. Giannis turns, fires, misses wide. Giannis with a quick trigger here. Really nice pass coming from Dudley as well. Giannis, touch off the mark. Giannis wins it back. Laro feeds over to Dudley. Lynchburg does it again. Hornets ahead, 7-0. Second goal of the night for Dudley. 9th on the season. 11th assist for Laro. Laro came in today third in the ODAC in assists. She gets one more. And the Hornets offense has now set a new season high. 7 goals in a match. Still 2:17 left in the first quarter. Harper trying to do it herself. Tries to go through the teeth of the Lynchburg defense. Hornets with it now. Madison Mark picked up her first collegiate goal a couple games back against Eastern Mennonite. Riley Cameron completes the reverse now with Boatwright. In the midfield, it's Strauss. Just in front of her was Faith Bibbo. Pass complete. Skylar Dice. One time over. One time back to Dice. Jarred away by Riley Smith. Foul against Ferrum. Stays with the Hornets. Truitt over to Claybaugh. Claybaugh can't sneak her pass into the shooting circle. It's deflected right back out to the senior. So Claybaugh stays with it. Will be denied once again. Bibbo tries to clear. Goes back out to Mark. Penetrates the semicircle. And another penalty corner on the way for Lynchburg. .114 left in the first quarter. And this will be fourth penalty corner so far for Lynchburg. Pass goes out to Dice, near side wing. She takes the rip and converts. Lynchburg takes the lead 8-0. First goal of the year for sophomore Skylar Dice. Native to Annville, Pennsylvania. Has played in all 14 games of the year, has a start. And able to get past TJ Baker to move Lynchburg ahead 8-0 in the first quarter. Harper, two Hornets defenders around her. Gets the whistle. Tries to go right down Broadway. Poked away by Strauss. Dice just scored that last goal for the Hornets. Wins it right back. Feeds Boatwright. Harper takes it away for just a moment. Cameron trying to swing it out to Mark. Picked up by Ferrum in the attacking third. This is Brianna Colson. Colson couldn't keep it for Ferrum. Good direct pass. Giannis. Ahead for Lero. Pass a touch too strong. Kicked away by Baker. And now cleared completely by Ferrum. Good defensive stand. 10 seconds to go in the first quarter. Lynchburg tried to play it a step too quick. Little reset. And the final seconds of the first quarter. Wind off the clock, but what a first quarter it was for Lynchburg, leading 8-0, putting up 19 shots in the first 15 minutes of play. We'll take a quick pause, come back with the second quarter between the Hornets and the Panthers on LHSN.
My name is Joshua Carr. I am a senior. I am a theater major as well as a history minor. I live in 5th Street, the historic black neighborhood. The money came in, transfer, scholarship, all that. I appreciate that greatly. I'm smart too. So they gave it like, you smart, here. You know what I'm saying? You come here to do a job. I came here to do a job. A student's job is to get that degree and make something of ourselves. I love the diversity here. I love the different interests of people here. I can teach somebody that doesn't know what I know, and that person can teach me something that I don't know that they know. So that's what I love about my school. They respect that and they allow us to showcase and voice our expressions. That's what you get here. You get diversity, you get different people with different knowledge coming together, sharing information and helping each other out. That's what I love. That's why I say people. I love the people here.
Welcome back to Lynchburg, Virginia, the site of our clash between the Hornets and the Panthers. 8-0, Lynchburg out in front of Ferrum. Giving you some stats from the first set of 15. 19-0 shot advantage for Lynchburg, 12 of those shots on goal. 4 saves so far for Ferrum and their sophomore goalkeeper, TJ Baker. And then 4 penalty corners for Lynchburg to none so far for Ferrum. And we'll see what the second quarter brings for both sides. Will Lynchburg keep the pedal down? Or, like we saw towards the end of the first quarter, where we start to see Ferrum get in the mix on the offensive end. Saw some chances in positive territory for the Panthers, headlined by Dominique Harper, senior from Newport News. He's able to keep possession on a few occasions at the end of the first quarter. Trying to weather the storm from a bombardment that has been the Lynchburg attack so far. Ferrum with possession. Start the second quarter. Taken away by Riley Weinfordner. Freshman swings it out. Couldn't connect with junior Sarah McCollum. Starting to see some more of the reserves check out for Lynchburg. Sydney Metz is out there. Franca Veronek, freshman, getting her first taste of the turf tonight. Pass ahead, looking for Brooke Highland. And broken up. Good play from Jenna Theron. 13th game played, 10th start tonight for Theron. Veronek back out to McCollum. Tries to center it up for either Highland or Metz to get the redirect and hit the back of the cage. Neither able to do so. To start the Ferrum possession, it's Riley Smith, the junior from Norfolk, Virginia. Started 13 games, played in all 14 for the Panthers. Dice towards the attacking circle. Highland picks up the loose ball, sends it towards Veronek. Cleared away for a moment by the Panthers. Dice tries to keep it with Lynchburg. Her pass misses everyone and goes across the end line. So if we missed any of the scoring in the first quarter, all started with Emma Strauss, assisted by Brittany Clayball, followed by Emily Giannis, assisted by Jackie Laro. Then Laro got into the scoring and was assisted by Strauss. Fourth goal came from Emily Dudley, assisted by Giannis. To make it 5-0, it was Jackie Laro coming off the pass from Brittany Clayball, followed by goal from Kessa Romero on a penalty corner, or penalty stroke, I beg your pardon. And the last two goals coming from Emily Dudley, then Skylar Dice. Checking in for Ferrum at the next opportunity will be Joy Moss, freshman from Suffolk, Virginia. Saw Moss on the turf for a portion of the first quarter. Building from the back line, Martha Chapese. Trying to track this down, Gabrielle Perndam. Perndam, a freshman from Powhatan. Moss now checks into the game. Big hack from Caroline West. Has it deflected across the near sideline. Dice goes aerial. Ahead for Metz. Be ruled a dangerous ball as Faith Bibbo will step away from being able to take the pass away from the Lynchburg Hornets. Instead, the foul. Ward's possession of Ferrum. Weinfordner. Good pass to far side. McCollum absorbs some contact. Stays with it. Draws a second defender. Bibbo takes it away for Ferrum. Now the Panthers build on the far sideline. Slowing down the attack was Jenna Tangiers, sophomore from Bel Air, Maryland. So now it's back with Lynchburg. Chapese just outside the circle. Ball still live. Baker trying to kick it away. Dice lobs it towards the cage. Whistle's blown, ending the run where it stood for Lynchburg. Good pass ahead. It's with Harper. Defended by Purdom. Now at the top of the attack, Nemulodi. Tess Brady. Sophomore keeper steps up, sends it away across the far sideline. Brady has 4 shutouts this season to go along with that 1.25 goal against average and save percentage just under 80%. Yeah, Brady came in today 4th in the conference in goal against average, save percentage, and in total saves. Campbell tries to get back to Bibbo. It's taken away by Sidney Metz. No numbers advantage, but now there's one. Good pass from Metz. Sets up her teammate. Baker gets the right foot on it. Halts the attack for a second. Campbell needs to clear, able to do just that. Picked up by Caroline West. Had Riley Weinfordner in front of her. Instead, goes back, looking for Purdom. Also comes out, they'll say it touched the leg of Ferrum player. Dice going to be calling for this foul. Looks like she tripped up Moss. Off the stick of Aldridge. Picked up by Chapese. Aldridge on her hip. McCollum can't keep it. Weinfordner unable to get past Theron. Foul on the play. It'll go against Ferrum, but it happened outside the shooting circle, so no penalty corner. Weinfordner back to West. West finds the stick of Campbell. Well played by the senior from Suffolk, Virginia. 15th start this year for Campbell. Theron, good pass ahead. Nemulodi on the year for the freshman from Midlothian, Virginia. Nemulodi, I beg your pardon. 1 goal, 2 assists. All coming in the 2 separate matches against Meredith. Varanek, as well as McCollum, inside the circle. Whistle blown. Ends the run for Lynchburg. Cleared away for a moment by Bibbo. Dice vies with Harper for possession. Harper wins it. Well, looks like the stick of Purdom comes in a bit too strong against Harper. Pass ahead for the Newport News native. Went off the body of Harper. Off the stick of Dice it goes. Ferrum working in positive territory. With the honors on the near sidelines, Olivia Turner. Again, looks for Harper. Picked up, Nemulodi. 3 Lynchburg defenders right in front of her. And it's taken away by Sarah Miller-Richards. 4th game played this year for the sophomore. Brianna Corpier. Corper checks in. First time tonight, 13th game played for the junior. Corper comes on for Aldridge. Thrawn ahead. Has Corper trying to keep it in on that far sideline. They're going to give possession to Ferrum, so maybe went out but last off the stick of a Hornets defender. Just over 6 minutes left in the first half. Thrawn looking long for Nemulodi. Picked up by West. Sarah Miller-Richards ahead for Dice. Middle of the turf. It's Purdom with Campbell right in front of her. Out wide. Give is to Megan Mayo. Mayo penetrates. Lays it off for Brooke Highland, and the sophomore makes it 9-0 Lynchburg. First goal of the year for Brooke Highland. And it's the first assist of the season for Megan Mayo. A pair of underclassmen tack on the Lynchburg lead and move the Hornets ahead 9-0. Ferrum looking to respond. Mishandled for a moment by Olivia Turner. Watches it go across near sidelines. Picked up by Sydney Metz. Martha Chapese out on the far sideline. Junior from Virginia. 9th game played. Chapese ahead for Tangiers. Cleared away by Campbell. Solid crowd amassing on the far sideline. It's the men's lacrosse team who will practice after this game comes to its conclusion. Schellenberger Field, a hot commodity. Everybody's looking to get out onto the turf. So men's lacrosse right before their practice. Cheering on the field hockey team ahead 9-0 over Ferrum. All-time series history, Lynchburg is 7-0 against the Panthers. Only surrendered one goal. That came on October 19th, 2017. Ferrum tonight looking to just build across some positive progression they've made this year into the winning column after going winless last year. And maybe this is a game where you pick up a goal against Lynchburg for the first time since 2017. You take those strides in the right direction. Metz takes it away. 1-on-1 against Baker. Metz misses just a touch to the right. Sydney Metz, a junior from New Jersey, 8th game played. Came in the day with 4 shots. And she has nearly doubled that total tonight alone. Bibbo gives all the way back. It's with Horn. Horn's pass. Cut off. And leads to a score from Jenna Tangiers. Tangiers, first goal of the year. Native to Bel Air, Maryland. 5th game played and has moved Lynchburg ahead 10-0. Nice play from Jenna Tangiers, doing it all herself. And the Hornets improve upon their season high for goals in a game. It's now at 10. And Mayo with a head of steam. Lays it off for McCollum. Has Highland in front of her. A few sticks in the mix. Low whistle and end of the Lynchburg run. Clear it out on the near sideline. Sarah Miller-Richards. Pass intended for Dice. Broken up for a moment by Olivia Turner. But now back with Dice, just outside the shooting circle was Megan Mayo, the intended target of the pass. Highland also in the vicinity. It's back with Mayo. In front of her is Bibbo, as well as Nimulodi. Mayo resets, looks for space. Instead creates a penalty corner chance for Lynchburg. And at this point in the match, it's primarily backups and reserves on the turf for the Hornets, looking to extend the lead to 11-0. It was 4 penalty corners in the first quarter for Lynchburg. And that total now up to 5 per the live stats. This becomes the first penalty corner of the second quarter. Mayo will insert. Gives on the near side wing to Miller Richards. Takes a hack. Right in the middle of the shooting circle was Metz. Just in front of Baker. And they're going to award Lynchburg yet another penalty corner now. So Mayo takes over for Emma Strauss as the player to begin these penalty corners. And Coach Enza Steele likes to be versatile and throw out a lot of different looks. She'll even change the configuration of the players to the top of the circle. There are some teams who just want to get it to their best goal scorer, and that's that. Deflected in. Lynchburg ahead, 11-0. This time the penalty corner goes out to the far side wing. From Mayo. Goes to Miller Richards. And it looks like they're going to award the goal to Miller Richards. First of the year for the sophomore. Looks like Sydney Metz might have gotten a stick on it, but instead it's Sarah Miller Richards. First goal of the year. Sophomore from Fredericksburg, Virginia. 4th game played on the year. It's now 11-0. Lynchburg ahead. 3rd true home game of the year for the Hornets. 5th overall, including those first 2 home matches being played over at Liberty. Pair of wins in overtime against ranked opponents. The time was number 13 Ursinus, then it was number 18 Center. Currently Lynchburg, the number 18 team in the country. Dominique Harper in front of Caroline West. Over to Nemulodi. Miller Richards, the closest defender. Whistle's blown, and that will end the run for Ferrum. Furthest we've seen the Panthers get on the turf. Had a chance inside the shooting circle, and now Campbell creates the turnover. Nemulodi had it jarred away by Dice. Foul called. It goes against Lynchburg. Campbell trying to find Victoria Tyler. Kept in by Miller Richards. Gets past Tyler. Pass taken away by Campbell, who then sends it harmlessly across the end line. Campbell creates another turnover. As the final seconds of the first half wind down, Ferrum unable to mount another shot against Kayla Brady. So that'll do it for the first 30 minutes of play. 11-0 your score, Lynchburg on top of Ferrum. Don't go anywhere. We're going to talk about the first half after a quick break. We'll get you reset for everything you need to know for the second half. So don't go anywhere. More between the Hornets and the Panthers coming to you on LHSN.
Be ready for anything, okay?
Come on, let's go together. Together, let's go. Come on. Let's go, keep going.
Sorry, that's the best of it. Sweet. Yep. Yeah. Cool. Good one. All right, guys, you see the meat grinder down here? Stay in the boat. Let's go.
Oh, what you think of that? Woo!
11-0 your score at the break. Lynchburg out in front of Ferrum. You're watching field hockey on LHSN. The Hornets looking to make it back-to-back wins, and earlier this season had a 32-game ODAC win streak come to a halt against Washington Elite. Looking to start a new one and continue it tonight against Ferrum. Here are the stats from the first 30 minutes of play. Meanwhile, Ferrum looking to snap a 6-game losing streak and have been shut out in the prior 6, so also just looking for some offensive production. Been tough sledding tonight. Lynchburg's offense in the first quarter, headlined by the starting 11, was relentless, and they were creating a lot of turnovers. Then in the second quarter, you see the reserves kind of carry that momentum forward, able to find the back of the net on a few occasions. All told, 11-0 your score at the break. Been one-sided so far, but chance for Ferrum to reset. If you're a Lynchburg fan, though, you want to see more of the same over the next 30 minutes. We'll step aside, come back with some highlights from the first 30 minutes of play, so don't go anywhere. More between Ferrum and Lynchburg coming to you on LHSN.
Never think that your donation is in vain, because you're helping out hundreds of students that are just like me, who need a shot and who are getting one without donations, without you individuals that are helping to donate to the university and the Lynchburg Fund, there would be no student body president, Davion Washington. There'd probably be I'm stuck at home, Davion Washington. Not only is your donation building leaders, but it's building leaders like myself and others that will hopefully want to pay it forward one day and you do the same thing. I know for a fact that, when I have it, because I will, I want to give back to this university that provided me a home for 4 years.
When you come to the University of Lynchburg to earn a master's degree in athletic training, you'll spend time in the classroom, but you'll also spend a lot of time in our top-notch facilities learning from athletic trainers and working closely with our student athletes. In the Graduate Cadaver Lab, you'll learn about the human body in the best way possible, by actually studying the human body. This will provide a foundation to make you a much better athletic trainer. In the Athletic Training Laboratory, you'll get hands-on experience, practicing your skills, applying concepts from the classroom, and working with faculty on research projects. It's also where our hydrotherapy facilities are. This space is also used by students for studying and practicing skills outside of class time. In the Sports Medicine Clinic and Turner Gymnasium, you'll work with student athletes from more than 20 NCAA Division III sports teams, helping get them back to practice and into the game as soon as possible. As an athletic training student, you're a big part of the success of our sports teams and the success of the local athletic teams. We see this relationship as a win-win situation. You learn, and that helps us win.
Welcome back to Lynchburg, Virginia. Battle between the Hornets and the Ferrum Panthers continue. Welcome inside the booth. TJ Wingert here with you. 11-0. Lynchburg out in front of Ferrum. You're watching field hockey on LHSN, and it's been a one-sided affair so far. The offense, if you're a Lynchburg fan, has been exactly what you wanted to see tonight. Seeing shots convert into goals. We'll roll some highlights from the first 30 minutes of play. And considering this team had outshot Eastern Mennonite and Randolph-Macon their last two home games, 86-2, and that had translated to just 5 goals. Today was a welcome sign for Hornets fans, seeing Lynchburg get back to their ability to put points on the board at will. New season high, 11 goals tonight. Meanwhile, for Ferrum, there have been chances, and as the game's gone on, I think the offense has improved, and there's been more and more opportunities to connect and play fluid. At the end of the first quarter, we started to see Ferrum have some looks in positive territory, and then towards the end of the first half, able to penetrate and create some opportunities inside the shooting circle. So still lots to be played for on both sides. We're under a couple minutes away from the second half of play, so we'll step aside one final time real quick, come back with that second half of action between Lynchburg and Ferrum, all on LHSN. Live at Schellenberger Field, getting set for the second half of play. You're watching field hockey on LHSN. TJ Wingert here with you. We're getting set for the final 30 minutes between Lynchburg and Ferrum. Hornets out in front of the Panthers, 11-0. Some starters back out onto the turf for the Hornets, including Riley Cameron, who swings it over to Aaron Boatwright. Sophomore takes a few strides ahead, now kicks over to Cameron. You missed any of the scoring. It was 8-0 at the end of the first. 3 more goals in the second to bring us to our 11-0 point in this contest where we are now. Clayball can't handle the pass. Picked up by Ferrum. Victoria Tyler trying to play it ahead for Campbell, unable to convert on the pass. So Lynchburg in the driver's seat, looking to make it consecutive wins. They topped Randolph-Macon this past Saturday 1-0 on homecoming. That came after their 32-game conference win streak came to a close against Washington and Lee. And the last time before that loss, a little over a week ago, in conference play was Jackie Laro's true freshman season, ODAC championship. I was talking to her about it earlier this week, and Laro was showing me pictures. It was an absolute monsoon out in Lexington, Virginia. The turf was essentially fully flooded, and it was a 2-1 overtime loss in that ODAC championship game. That was the last loss in conference play prior to last Wednesday, 3-2 defeat at the hands of the Generals. The Hornets trying to build anew. Beat Randolph-Macon ahead of Ferrum currently, 11-0. Something Laro noted was this team this year feels a lot, or shares a lot of similarities with that team her freshman year, where she noted it felt like when you look at the starting lineup, it's senior, freshman, senior, sophomore, senior, junior, senior, freshman, whereas a lot of veteran leadership, especially some of those key areas. This year's team, it's the top of the attack, where you have Laro, Dudley, Clayball, Strauss, Romero's a junior in the mix as well. And then on the back line is really where the youth stands out, and Laro had sung the praises of Aaron Boatwright, Madison Mark. Kaylee Truitt's a senior, so she is the veteran anchoring that bunch down, but she also spoke very highly of Riley Cameron. That is not an easy position to play, that center back role, but Cameron has done a really sound job throughout the year, and her along with the goalkeeper Kayla Brady, another sophomore, you can just see the progression as the year has gone on. So as I noted, Laro drawing some comparisons to that team her freshman year and this team this year for Lynchburg. So it almost feels fitting that that win streak comes to a close and you have to start anew. Who knows? Maybe in 4 years' time we'll be hearing from players such as Gabrielle Purdom or Franca Veronek, a pair of freshmen, just to pick out of a couple on the roster for Lynchburg that are talking about a 30-plus game conference win streak. If you're a Hornets fan, you're certainly hoping so. And quickly, talking about some of the progression for some of these young players, it's hard to quantify how much better Cameron's got because you look at a center back's position like Riley Cameron, it's 14 games played, 14 starts and zeros the rest of the way. But I think the best way to encapsulate it is through Kayla Brady's month-to-month split in September. Goal against average at 1.77, 75% save percentage. Those are solid marks. That'll be plenty good enough if you have a good offense. But so far in October, through 6 games, that goal against average from 1.77 down to 0.66, and the save percentage up from 75% to a little over 86%. And that's not just Brady getting better. It's also that defense and Cameron and Mark improving their play as well. Opportunity for Giannis. Her shot misses just wide of the cage. Possession stays with Lynchburg, right on the fringe of the attacking third. It's Weinfordner over to that freshman Madison Mark. Started every game this year for the Hornets. Pass to Strauss. Cameron steps up. Lets it fly. Giannis has it kicked away by Baker. We've seen Baker be aggressive today, coming out far from the cage. This time it plays to her advantage. She's there to immediately deflect the shot from Giannis. Baker getting the start tonight. Had not started the previous 3 games. Said it was Anna Corsi, a freshman from Hampton, Virginia. But overall, 10th start of the year for Baker. 12th game played. Picked up for a moment. Some nice dribbling moves from Emily Campbell. Able to keep possession alive. Juggling the loose ball on her stick. No easy task to do. Mark looking for Dudley. Pass is broken up. Picked up by Truitt. Takes a hack. Deflected off the body of Dudley, and out of play it goes. But going back to the conversation I had with Jackie Lair, if you want to listen to it, here's some of her thoughts on the team. It's out on Lynchburg Athletics Twitter, social media overall. You can also go to the LHSN YouTube page that you'd be watching this broadcast on. And just listen to the Hive podcast with Jackie Lair. It was really fun to talk about what she sees as play goes on. She's having another tremendous season. She's going for career goal number 100, has some games left on the docket, talks about some of those young players and how the team is coming together down the stretch. Again, that's available to you here on the LHSN YouTube channel. Also, where we get your podcasts, Spotify, Apple, any of the sort. Penalty corner awarded to Lynchburg as Campbell was unable to clear for Ferrum. 8:08 left in the third quarter. 7th PC on the night for the Hornets, looking to stretch their lead up from 11-0. Sarah McCollum's going to check into the next available opportunity for Lynchburg. Now seeing a little something different here. Normally it's Emma Strauss to begin the corner chances for the Hornets. Instead, it's Emily Giannis, and Strauss essentially trades places with Giannis out on that far side wing. Giannis feeds. Laro at the top of the circle. Gives back to Giannis, who can't handle the pass. Goes between the wickets and out of play. That's a really creative play design, and it's one that's given Lynchburg some really quality opportunities because once you insert on that penalty corner, the rush is to whoever gets the pass, whether it's on the wing or at the top of the circle. And a lot of times Lynchburg will go top of the circle and then key it back to the inserter. And as everybody's rushing towards the top of the circle, there is an opening and a little bit of a bubble to be able to get a shot off from just in front of the post where the inserter re-enters play. So it's not one that Lynchburg goes to all that frequently. Trying to keep it in your back pocket. They go to it there with Giannis as opposed to Strauss, who normally inserts on those penalty corner chances. Giannis takes another shot. Save for Baker. Ball still live. Picked up by Laro. She's got 2 tonight. Looking for the hat trick. Trying to do it all by herself. Left-footed save for Baker. Drew it. The rebound shot missing wide right. Drew without a goal this year. You can see her hungry on that last opportunity. Trying to net her first, but she started all 14 games, and she's been a very key component doing just what you see there, winning possession, and she's also the most veteran part of that back line. Swing and a miss from Strauss. Sarah McCollum now into the game. Clay ball. Looking for space, far side. Kicks over to Aaron Boatwright. Trying to trek through the traffic. Instead, gets the foul to go against Ferrum. Another penalty corner for the Hornets. 8th on the night now. 6:24 left in the third quarter. And again, it's going to be Giannis to insert. Giannis to Laro. Laro goes back to Giannis. Chips it towards Boatwright. Ball still live. Giannis trying to get past Baker, who lays out and is on the turf. No official ruling from our official, who now signals that that will end the PC chance for the Hornets. McCollum immediately creates the turnover, or at least applies that high press. Harper takes the contact. Possession given to Ferrum. Dominique Harper has been able to, on a few occasions in the first half, get some space and the primary ball handler, if you will, comparing it to basketball. And Harper then fed Nemia Lodi towards the end of the first half, and maybe the best scoring chance we've seen from Ferrum so far. Whistle blown again. Stays with Lynchburg. Truitt centers it up for Laro. Fields the hot shot pass off of a hop. Possession does come to a close after the whistle's blown yet again. Match settling into an equilibrium state. It was 11-0 at the half, and I think that's something you can hang your hat on here if you're a Ferrum fan. You held out a relentless offense so far for 10 minutes in the third quarter. And Nemulodi picks up the wayward pass, gives back to Harper, trying to go one time through the Lynchburg defense back to Nemulodi. Instead, taken away by Mark. Weinfordner can't get it through to Laro. Campbell has her stick knocked. No contact against her body. So no foul on the play. Cameron out wide for Boatwright. Well defended by Campbell. Strauss tries to go one touch by her. Loose ball gathered by Dudley, so it stays with Lynchburg. Long ball ahead for McCollum. First touch betrays her. She did a good job on that play, slowing down a hard-coming pass. And it lost some of its velocity, but it still came off the stick. Rather hot, and it goes across the end line. Pass intended for Nemulodi. Well defended by Weinfordner. Clay ball tripped up. Hornets restart. Boat right ahead for the senior clay ball. She gives back to the sophomore. Just over 3 minutes left in the third quarter. Hornets and no rush on the offensive end. Swing it all the way around. It's Mark carrying forward. Gets past Theron. Chipped up. And into the back of the cage. Wasn't sure it was going to stand, but the Hornets score once more and now lead 12-0. With the stick going up that high, you're just never sure what is and what isn't going to be called, but McCollum with the redeflect. First goal of the year for Sarah McCollum, and the assist will go to Madison Mark, her first on her freshman campaign. McCollum, a junior from Bel Air, Maryland, makes it 12-0 Lynchburg. And if you missed any of the scoring, here's the recap. First goal came from Strauss. Then it was Emily Giannis, Jackie Laro, Emily Dudley, Laro once again, Kessa Romero on a penalty stroke. Emily Dudley gets back in the mix. Skylar Dice scores the 8th in the final of the first quarter. Scoring in the second quarter was Brooke Highland, Jenna Tangiers, and Sarah Miller-Richards. And then you just saw McCollum stretch the lead up to 12 for the black and red. Dudley takes a hack. Still live just behind Baker. And it hits the back of the cage. I didn't see it sip through. I beg your pardon. It's now 13-0 Lynchburg. It looked like Baker had made this stop. I need another look at that last play. After being held off the board for the first 10-plus minutes of the third quarter, the Hornets score 2 times in the span of less than a minute game time. Sounds like they have awarded that goal to Jackie Laro with the assist going to Emily Dudley. Third goal tonight for Laro. That's good for a hat trick. And overall, her 12th on the season. And the assist for Dudley, her 4th on the year. So Laro ended today's play with 88 career goals, was trying to get to 100. 3 today will certainly help in that pursuit. Giannis presses the attack. Tried to center it up for Laro. The pass was broken up, however. So now 91 career goals for Jackie Laro in the upcoming slate for Lynchburg includes Friday road game for CNU, Sunday at home, Senior Day against Worcester, and then Monday the 25th, Code Red game hosting Mary Washington. And then there's still more to the schedule thereafter, but those are the next 3 matches for the Hornets. .40 seconds and counting left in the third quarter. 2 more scores to the Hornets has extended the lead to 13-0, a new season high for goals in a match. Laro applies some heavy pressure, trying to go coast to coast. Breaks it back inside. And it's Jenna Theron with a nice defensive play, preventing Laro from finding goal number 4. Dudley chips it up and over the net. Mighty cut from Dudley. Misses everything in the final seconds of the third quarter. Tick away. It's now 13-0. Lynchburg out in front of Ferrum. We'll step aside and come back with the final stanza between the Hornets and the Panthers, all on LHSN.
If you like being close with your professors, if you like being in small classes that help with one-on-one, if you like being in positive communities that help you train your weak points and strengthen your strong points, then the University of Lynchburg is a great place to go. You can never go wrong with the amount of help that they offer, the amount of self-sacrifice that other people will put in for you. It has a beautiful campus, it has dedicated teachers, it has nice students, it has fun activities, and it has plenty of things to do.
Welcome back to Lynchburg, Virginia. We're here at Schellenberger Field, getting set for the fourth quarter between Lynchburg and Ferrum. Some field hockey action here on LHSN. Thank you all for tuning in on this Wednesday night. TJ Wingert here with you. Hoping you're enjoying the action. I've had a good time getting to watch these two teams duke it out. 2 goals in the third quarter have moved the Lynchburg Hornets ahead 13-0. 3 goals in the night for Jackie Laro, 2 for Emily Dudley. Couple of assists for Brittany Clayball. Goal and an assist for Emma Strauss. An assist for Megan Mayo. Goal for Sarah McCullum, her first of the year. Goal as well for Casa Romero. First on the season for Skylar Dice. 1 for Emily Yana. She also has an assist. First goal of the year as well for Sarah Miller-Richards. Madison Mark picked up her first assist. And also scoring her first goal on the year was Jenna Tangiers. Just to recap a little bit of the offensive production. Long pass ahead. It's back to that second team unit for the Hornets. Sydney Metz was trying to center it up for Brooke Highland. As I know, they got that first goal of the season back in the second quarter. Miller Richards over to Caroline West. Hornets pass it around across the back line. Martha Chapese. Strong pass ahead. It's Tangiers, native to Maryland. Well played by Emily Campbell. Senior has certainly fought hard in the midfield. Orfense Melsawa. Good ball ahead. It's with Harper. Surrounded by 3 separate black jerseys for Lynchburg, and the foul goes against the Hornets. First penalty corner on the night for Ferrum, and a chance for the Panthers to not only avoid the shutout tonight, but be the first Ferrum team to score on Lynchburg since 2017. All-time Hornets are 7-0 against Ferrum and have surrendered just that one goal more than 4 years ago. Actually, 4 years and 1 day, the exact mark. Victoria Tyler will insert, sends it towards the top of the circle. Misses both Bibbo and Horn. Horn tries to get it back into the attacking circle. Foul on the play goes against Ferrum, and the best scoring opportunity for the Panthers on the night goes by the wayside. Bibbo trying to find the open Masewa, freshman from South Africa. 13th game played for Masewa. Has a couple of starts as well. Ferrum looking to snap a streak of 6 consecutive matches being shut out. After today, they've got some tough games ahead, including on Saturday against Shenandoah. Get to play that game at home, though. That always helps. Next Wednesday, also at home, hosting Roanoke. And then Saturday, the 30th, they will travel to Eastern Mennonite. Chapezi to start the possession for Lynchburg. Has it poked out? They're going to say Chapezi carried it out. Brianna Corper on the sideline. Maselwe had it for a moment. Ultimately taken away by the Lynchburg defense. Good clear, goes all the way back to Horn. Horn over to Bibbo. Sydney Metz, the oncoming rusher, just a step away from being able to get her stick on the pass attempt and potentially create a one-on-one chance for herself. The pass goes across the far sideline, so it's Lynchburg possession nonetheless. Good play from Bibbo. Slows down the attack. Dice tries to find Mayo. Mayo ultimately does gain possession for Lynchburg. Now inside the shooting circle. 2 defenders. Able to create a stop for Ferrum. Just under 10.5 minutes left in the final quarter of play. 37 shots for Lynchburg to none. The last 2 home games that I alluded to at the start of the broadcast and then periodically after that against EMU and Randolph-Macon, 86-2 shot advantage for Lynchburg, resulting in just 5 goals. That has been very different so far tonight. No goal here. Lynchburg able to hit the back of the cage, but whistle was blown just before the potential 14th goal in the night. Jenna Theron can't split a double team. They're going to say last touch by a Hornet. So Theron has it on the near sideline. Taken away by Tangiers and Mayo. Mayo tries to work end line. Deflected by Theron. Bibbo can't clear. Right in front of Baker. Sydney Metz converts and has her first goal on the season. Mets makes it 14-0 Lynchburg. And Bibbo just couldn't get solid enough contact to convert on the clear. And it's Megan Mayo with her second assist on the night and on the season. So Lynchburg moves ahead 14-0, extending their season high for goals in a match at that 14-goal mark. Ferrum back the other way, working right to left. Harper looking long, can't connect with Corper. Results in a turnover. Doesn't result in a long-lasting possession for Lynchburg as Mets couldn't handle the pass. Two teams trade possession. Under 9 minutes left. Again, the upcoming schedules for both sides. We talked about it for Ferrum. It's Shenandoah and Roanoke at home on Saturday and then next Wednesday. Then on the road on Saturday the 30th at EMU. Those are the last 3 games on the slate for the Panthers. Lynchburg, not in a similar situation. They have 6 games left on the season. The next 3 are Friday at CNU, non-conference. Sunday, Senior Day, hosting Worcester, again, non-conference. And then Monday, the 25th, non-conference against Mary Washington. So a little peculiar to have some non-conference slates down the stretch, but an opportunity to take on some really quality opponents, CNU, Worcester, and Mary Washington. And a chance to tweak with a lineup. Try, say Emily Giannis as the inserter on those penalty corners like we saw Coach Steele tinker with tonight. But also face some tough competition and get you ready for your final 3 games of the year, all ODAC play, and then ultimately get you ready for postseason conference tournament, and if Jackie Laro has her way, the NCAA tournament. Turnover created. Corper trying to get past West. Can't do just that. West unable to clear on the first attempt on the end line. Now does get it across the far sideline. One of the better opportunities we've seen so far tonight, created by Brianna Corper, junior from Powhatan, Virginia, not too far away from Lynchburg. Played 13 games now, 1 start. So adding on today's shot advantage for Lynchburg is the pass intended for Veranek broken up. If you tack on the 39-0 shot advantage tonight for Lynchburg onto the previous 2 games that I've mentioned, EMU and Randolph-Macon, that shot total at 125-2. Tonight, a much more successful rate of turning those shots into goals, 39 shots to 14 scores. Previous 2 meetings against the Royals and then the Yellow Jackets, 86 shots turned into 5 goals. So a much higher conversion rate and a welcome sign for Lynchburg. And you hope that carries forward again, that string of non-conference battles coming Friday through Monday. Well, that in itself is also a test of conference-like action, especially late in the season as Mets and Giannis both check out. But the ability to play 3 games in 4 days is something that you won't necessarily have to do once you get to the conference tournament, because if you go all the way and make it into the ODAC championship and say win the whole thing, it's 3 games over 6 days, if memory serves, maybe 7. So it's not quite as strenuous as 3 games, 4 days, but still it's a good test to try to replicate what it takes to do something like that. And it might be something you're more apt to see once you get into the NCAA postseason tournament, if Lynchburg were to either win the ODAC or get an at-large bid. And that's also part of the reason you see those non-conference games in the mix, especially after look at some of the early season bouts, taking on number 3 Johns Hopkins. They're now the number 2 team in the country. Keene College was number 10 when Lynchburg played them. They're now a top 5 program. You also have wins against Ursinus and Center, both still in the top 25. And then, as mentioned, CNU, Worcester, Mary Washington still left to be played, so loading up that non-conference slate and building up the strength of schedule. So in the event that Lynchburg State didn't win the ODAC, and instead it was claimed by Washington and Lee or Shenandoah, two really good programs inside the conference, the resume would still look really sound, especially if Lynchburg were to beat CNU, Worcester, Mary Washington to still try to get that at-large bid. So a lot left to be decided over the final 6 games for this Lynchburg field hockey program. I have loved watching them all throughout the year, and I continue to do so. And I cannot wait to see what is left for this squad. Gabrielle Purdom, the long run ahead. Looks like last touched by a Panther defender. Dislodged it from Purdom, and across the end line it went. Chapezi to start the possession right on the fringe of the attacking third. Swung over to Mayo. Mayo with 2 assists tonight. Nice spin move, nearly able to convert and create space for herself. The run could have been called for the high stick there on the clear attempt. Instead, no call. Less than 3.5 minutes left to be played. Aldrich gets past Chapezi. West steps up, halts the run, for at least for a moment. It's Harper. She has Corper in front of her. The pass a little strong, and maybe a step behind Corper. But we're starting to see Brianna Corper become a sound outlet option. She's been able to get past that Lynchburg defense, especially with Caroline West coming far up. Nemulodi sends it across the semicircle. No one's home to answer the door for Ferrum. Purdom ahead for Mayo. Mayo, the freshman, Pasadena, Maryland. Draws 2 defenders. Earns the penalty corner for Lynchburg. Stopping the clock with 2:09 left in regulation. When this second unit has been in for Lynchburg, Mayo has been the player to insert. We'll see if that trend continues. We saw in the third quarter it switched from Strauss to Emily Giannis, so we'll see if the second unit also comes with a change. It will not. Mayo out to the end line. 9th penalty corner on the night for Lynchburg. Gives to Dice. Touch too strong. Up and over the post it goes. Under 2 minutes left. Mayo nearly created the takeaway. Instead, just deflects it. Purdom picks it up and earns the 10th penalty corner on the night for Lynchburg. So Lynchburg will improve to 8-0 all-time against Ferrum. And 97 seconds left on the clock. It looks as though the trend will continue, that Ferrum only scored once against the Hornets, coming a little over 4 years ago. 2017. Overall, the win for the Hornets would improve them to 10-4 on the season, 5-1 in conference play, while the Ferrum Panthers look to be shut out for their 7th consecutive game and fall to 3-12 overall, 0-5 ODAC play. Penalty corner comes with a good defensive stop for Ferrum. Keeps it at a 14-0 game. Two teams scrum for possession. We're down under a minute. Ferrum inside the attacking third, or excuse me, Lynchburg inside the attacking third, inside Ferrum's defensive third. Panthers get a stop. Dangerous ball sent towards Ferrum. Ferrum trying to navigate down the middle of the turf. Ferrum gets a stop. Panthers try to play it quick off the restart. 10 seconds left. We present to you our LHSN Player of the Match. It's the final seconds of the fourth quarter. Wind away. Jackie Laro comes away with the honors. A lot of players it could have gone to, but Laro, team best 3 goals. She has an assist in the mix, and she's now up to 91 career goals. Inching closer to that century mark. So congratulations to Jackie Laro, and congratulations to the Lynchburg Hornets on the win. As I mentioned a moment ago, proving to 10-4 on the season, 5-1 in ODAC play. The Panthers have been shut out in 7 consecutive games now. They fall to 3-12, 0-5 in conference action. Still think there's some things you can build upon moving forward for Ferrum. I think once you had the ball with Dominique Harper, you were able to create some progress down the field, and Labello Nemulodi had a couple of looks inside the attacking third and even penetrated the shooting circle on a handful of occasions. It just comes down to this team working out some of those quirks. Also down their head coach tonight. That can obviously play a factor. So things to work on moving forward. The upcoming schedule sees Shenandoah and Roanoke at home for Ferrum, then hitting the road at EMU. Meanwhile, for the Hornets, it's now back-to-back wins, and they have that busy weekend schedule at CNU on Friday, home against Worcester on Sunday, then hosting Mary Washington next Monday. The Sunday and Monday contest here on LHSN. The Hornets look to keep things rolling and gather more momentum, heading closer and closer towards the ODAC tournament. That's going to do it for us at Schellenberger Field. I want to give a quick shout-out to my director, Sam Rice, and the rest of our fantastic LHSN production crew. My name's TJ Wingert. Until next time, we are signing off.